up in Cold Spring, and there's 5 kids, you know, kind of spread out from oldest to youngest, and then aunts and uncles were always involved in Christian women and had some on fire departments, had some different things with different churches, some with the Lions Club, and you know, so you're always hearing all this stuff growing up. Because then, you know, I stayed at home with the kids when they were little, so I didn't do anything except stay at home with the kids. Then they got into elementary school, so I would help at St. Boniface, you know. Hey, we need a Clifford. Can you be a Clifford? Well, sure, I can put a big dog head on, and I can be Clifford, you know, and nobody knows it's me. And then, like an idiot, you know, they're taking pictures with kindergartners, and they're like, smile, and I'm under this big hat, smiling big, going, oh, that's smart. At the time, I was working for my brother, and the Cold Spring Record came out, and there's an ad in there. And I just haphazardly said something about, oh, look, you know, you have to be 35, you know, you have to be under 35. Well, and that was going to be me in about 3 months. And I'm like, you know, so I was just joking, basically. You know, Bob came over, got an application, brought it back, and said, well, here, you better fill it out quick. And I'm like, well, I don't even talk to my husband about this. Went home and talked to my husband and said, oh, what do you think if I maybe put this application in? And it's like, you know, so you talked about it a lot. And do I really want to do it? What does it take? So then, of course, I call all these guys on the department that I know going, I'm a mom. I have little kids. I'm not a guy. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I don't know if I'm capable enough. I don't know, you know, what does it take? So in talking to a lot of people, I did decide to try. We had some people that were a little bit older that were very skeptical. A woman? Yeah, right, whatever. You know, not going to happen. And that was their attitude. And since that time, I give them credit for coming up to me and saying, you did good, you proved me wrong. And again, I couldn't do it without my immediate family. You know, they, you know, both First Communions, we had grass fires. I have a house full of people, a yard full of people. Gotta go. But it's great because you come back and the dishes are done and you have a plate of food. I'm sorry. I'm not going to argue with that. Most of our calls are rescues. And every rescue, I look at it as somebody called 911, they need us. You know, because some people say, well, oh, it's not really that important. To me, every call is important because somebody called, they need something. You work with each other so well, so often, and to a degree that if I'm looking at something, or depending upon what we're at, my partner knows and goes and gets, and not every department has that. I mean, everybody is, you know, gives it their 110%, and I think the people we're helping see that. We feel it amongst ourselves. I'm not saying everybody on the department's best friends, but everybody knows how to be a team member and work to the best of their ability, and then some. You know, well, growing up, we didn't have Nintendo, we didn't have I don't even know what they all have now, but you didn't play video games, you didn't, I mean, we'd go to my cousins in Albany, and it was a big thing because we would put on plays for our parents. How did I get into plays? It was actually my husband's fault. Because they were doing Fiddler on the Roof, and he's always loved Fiddler on the Roof. And our kids were little. And he's like, well, let's go do this. Let's go do what? You know, don't know what you're talking about. I'm pretty shy, dude. No, let's go do this. And he really wanted to do it. But, well, I want you to do it with me. Oh, okay. My sister would watch the kids. You know, I mean, we checked everything out. And so I said, I am not auditioning. You are not. If they'll let me come and be there, I'll do this, you know. Well, they did, and I did, and the rest is history. I was in Fiddler, and then I wasn't in any for a while, and then in 2000. So that was 96, and then in 2000 again. And from 2000 on, I've done something in every play. Well, they asked me to come to school after the shootings just because I am, if you will, always around. And they just wanted the kids to feel comfortable with somebody that's always around, somebody that they're always going to see at that point. Well, so that year, the school year was done, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with this job, you know, and volunteer job. And then halfway through the summer, the principal called and said, well, you're going to come back next year, right? I said, for what? Well, to stand there for the kids. Really? Well, yeah, if you want, we'd like you to if you will. Well, I can do that. I check with my employer, and if it works, I will. Well, I've been doing it every Friday or every end of the week, like next week is Thanksgiving, so school will be on Wednesday, and so then I try to go then. And it's funny, because even the principal today is like, it's Friday, it's Friday. And I'm like, I'm glad I can make everybody's day. But this kid comes up, and he looks at me every week. Every week. Every week. And so this week he goes, why you stand there like that? And I said, like what? I said, you want me to stand on the other foot? No. Why you stand there like that? And I said, well, so people like you come up and ask me that question. Well, are you going to answer it? I said, I just did. So you're just here for me? Yep. Well, what about these guys? Well, I'm here for them too. But right now I'm here for you because you have a question. Well, that's cool. And he walked away. And 2 seconds later he goes, I meant to go this way. And he walks back. I'm like, and there's nothing better than helping other people. And to live in a community that allows, and I say allow just because every place I've either worked or I've helped out working has always allowed me to leave to go volunteer. Unless I'm out of Cold Spring, I, if you will, have no time off. Because the pager's always going, and or somebody's always dying, and or somebody needs this, and or. So you just go do it. And it just becomes part of your life. You get energy from helping and the energy off of others. You just, every day it's basically, Lord, I hope you show me the way you want me to use my talents today. And when I'm done at the end of the day, thank you for showing me how to use your talents through me. And that is that. I can't do this by myself. No way. What am I proud of? I'm definitely proud of my husband, my marriage, my children. Being an observer, if you will, growing up. I mean, I watched what happened to everybody else, and I saw what happened to everybody else, and I'm like, so for me to come out of my shell and to do an iota of the things that I've done, I'm pretty happy with that. And I have my family to thank for that, so thank you. Just thank you for the acknowledgement of the work that people do. It is appreciated, even though we know that. It's, as much as you don't want to accept, it is a nice thing to give people, so thank you.